What's up guys, Lab here with a new L4D2 video in which we will talk about the the spitter. Let's go! The spitter is a drooling being with a slight limp in its right leg, a belly full of love, and a mouth the size of a Bigfoot slipper, who forgot to take the antacid after dinner. She's in a little competition with the witch for the title of the most attractive infected, and although I know he puts a lot of effort into it.
Crazy neck!
Green thing! Fat woman!
I think she's currently losing.
Neck!
In general, she's quite flashy because her happy leg makes her run as if she's sending an SOS signal. And also, she shines in the dark. Yes, like radioactive Homer. As if that weren't enough, she leaves footprints behind her. And sometimes you can see them, even through the ceiling. Her primary attack, the one performed with the left mouse button, is the acid spit. This spit follows a straight line, taking anywhere from less than 1 second up to 5 seconds to reach its destination. It remains in a ball shape for most of its trajectory, and only descends at an angle when it reaches its destination. Upon impact, it creates an acid puddle that takes 3 seconds to fully spread, but that starts dealing damage long before. Furthermore, the acid's expansion is quite magical, as it can often climb adjacent surfaces. Except for cars. Not even summoning Gandalf, we will be able to hit a survivor standing on top of a car. By the way, if the spit crashes against a wall, it will bounce slightly before falling to the ground. A positive aspect of this attack is that we can perform it from any ladder, survivor or infected. The acid lasts 6 seconds, and its damage is variable depending on the second in which we are. When you want to avoid an acid pool, you cannot rely on the distance, because sometimes it seems like a damn Wi-Fi puddle that reaches you from 200 meters away, so keep a safe distance. However, if you have to pass through one for any reason, jumping over it will deplete your health as much as walking through it. Her secondary attack, the one performed with the right mouse button, is the claw, which takes 4 points away, and I'm not sure if it's Ellis's favorite.
I'm getting so mad I could shit a squealing worm, man.
But it's best used for breaking doors and windows. Also, she has a passive attack that leaves behind a small acid puddle upon death. This pool is smaller than the one created by the primary attack. The spitter has 100 life points, making her quite weak and easily killed by almost any weapon. Needless to say, she won't last more than 20 seconds while on fire. If this infected has any special technique, I would say it's the spit jump, which can be executed from a height, by surprise from the side, or simply in a straight line. This technique is important for 3 reasons. Firstly, it exposes you while you attack, making it difficult for others to kill you before doing so. Secondly, it provides more precision in aiming, as you directly target the exact spot on the ground where you want the acid to land, without having to calculate the distance. Lastly, it increases the acid speed because it travels diagonally, directly from the spitter's mouth to the ground, bypassing the angled descent. The rest more than techniques are attack opportunities. The spitter is a support infected, so you should only attack alone in certain situations. One of those is what I call the undercooked nugget, which involves spitting at a survivor who is trying to revive an incapacitated teammate, either to drain their health or to buy some time. You can do the extremely undercooked nugget in the same way, but only when a survivor is trying to use a defibrillator on a dead teammate, taking advantage of the long seconds it takes for the revived survivor to stand up again. Another tactic is essentially giving survivors a free bubble bath when they find themselves in small enclosed spaces. The f**k-up, a situation with a very descriptive name, is done by disturbing the survivors when they are trying to turn a generator on, to pour a can in, to open a gate, etc. The spitter's passive attack is very useful when you try to claw a helpless survivor who is being revived by a partner, as it leaves acid spread all over the area upon death. The ricochet attack is useful when you don't want to expose yourself while spitting or when you just want to split up the team without them noticing it. However, it takes more time, so you will have to calculate the time better. The coitus interruptus is awesome when you want to block the path of the survivors in difficult situations, like for example after a tank spawns. In the scavenge mode and in some versus finales that are based on gas cans, we can use the acid to burn the cans and even take advantage of the passive attack to do so. Lastly, when a survivor is surrounded by zombies and has little mobility, it's the perfect time to give their feet a soak. Pushes are very bad for the spitter because they make her lose her acid charge, even if we weren't attempting to spit at that moment. But it's even more frustrating when you are actually trying to spit, or when you hear the sound but no acid comes out. By the way, just like the smoker, she dies after shoving her 5 times. Oh, and don't forget that it takes 20 seconds to recharge after spitting. A downside of the acid is that it will collide with almost everything, including the first survivor in line. So if we want to spit over the others, we will have to bounce it off against the ceiling or a sidewall. Also, after every spit, she takes a few seconds to be able to move again, making her very vulnerable after an attack. Furthermore, the survivors aren't affected by the acid during the first second of the acid pool's formation, so they will have enough time to escape from it. As we saw in the smoker tutorial, I don't recommend this combination because although the acid adds damage to the smoker's attack, the survivor will have 2 seconds of immunity to the acid after being released. The same applies to the jockey, but at least this one can stun and push the survivors towards the acid pool. Something that also applies to the hunter or charger's stun. However, if we're talking about stuns, we have to mention the king, the boomer, and his explosive 2-second push. The best spitter co-workers are the hunter and the charger because after an attack, the survivor will stand up taking damage from the acid pool. Enjoy your meal. Although undoubtedly, the finishing blow is delivered with a charger's charging attack. It's like watching an epic movie. And that's it. I'm Lab. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and please click on that like button.